All right, I gotcha. It's Tuesday. We got to get our systems in place. Listen, systems lubricate that machine. Big dreams aren't built through willpower. They're built through repeatable systems that make success easier tomorrow than it is today. So today, we're designing one single better process. Let's get built for it. All right. Okay, Tuesdays are all about systems. Mondays, we set our course, we got our task list dialed in, we created our coordinates, we know where we want to go, and then we created our 5-step task list. So this is if you look up Sarah Arnold Hall, she'll say it's called the All It Takes plan. And yes, it is no bigger than 5 steps. For me, I try to think about gamify that, make it as simple as possible, simple like a basketball game. What is the shot? What is the shot that you have to take that then makes that goal happen, right? The ball going through the hoop is the goal happening. Are you launching your podcast on the day you said you were supposed to launch it? Because if you don't, Nella from my 7-figure podcast community is going to be coming at your neck. Well, then what's more important? The goal is not about being the most perfect podcaster and being a professional ready for podcast summit. The goal is launching your first episode on the day that you said you were supposed to. And I succeeded. Cheers. And as the person who is the musician, is the instrument, if you're the podcaster, right? Not knowing if it's an instrument problem, my voice, or if it's the musician problem, like I don't quite know how to just roll off a script yet, or Riverside said it wasn't going to be grainy and then it was grainy on that first episode. And so my perfectionist heart, right? I did the thing, do the damn thing. And then what? And then my thoughts about it. Oh, God, it's terrible. It's so long. It's so boring. Who's going to watch this? All of those are just stories I'm telling myself about it. And I accomplished the goal. So we can have crazy added thoughts that are categorizing thoughts and judgment thoughts, defining thoughts, even when we've literally accomplished the goal and then had spent no time consecrating the fact that we did it. Hip, hip, hooray. The thing that we said we wanted to do. Now, if the goal was I want to need to do the most, I want to hit that first episode, like it's a $10,000 already produced episode, that would have been a different situation. I did not. That was not the goal. Excuse me. I'm outside today. My nose is a little runny because I needed better lighting and I wanted a better frame and I wanted better this right here. This is all good stuff. So today we've got the plan. We've got what's the shot? What's the assist? Who just passed me that ball? Who's the stakeholder that's going to say yes to my plan? Who's the person that's going to be like, no? And then everything stops on their one. Nah. You got to know who that person is. So in that lineup, you got to know who your lineup is, right? You got to know who your cast is for your show. You got to know who your stakeholders are. They are the players, the ball players. I don't necessarily watch a lot of baseball, but I used to love that people collected cards. I thought that was really cool. You should be collecting a card book, a book this thick of your players, of your industry, and what their stats are, so that if you see them, and you should be knowing what that value of that card is, the fact you have those stats right there on that card, and that's a collector's ass picture. Might as well make your own cards. If you are a student and you have mentors, you should know who the players are in the game. You should know who the players are on every team. Anyway, my point is you got to know your stats. You got to know your players. You got to know if they're sitting at the table next to you, and you should be rehearsing what you would say to them if you saw them in person. There's been several times where I have met the people that I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm meeting this person right now. And they ask me something that I was not expecting. They ask me about myself and what I'm working on. And I'm like, and it was just I'm just doing some of this, it's just such a stupid thing. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm just a student and I'm nothing and I'm going to school and whatever. And you're you're the one. They are like, okay, well, thanks so much. Hope you have a good day. And I was just like, oh my God, what a missed opportunity. What a missed opportunity. So Mondays, set those systems up. Dial in your tasks. There are no more than 5 to play that game. But the beauty of how you play the game within it and the plays you set up and how you position yourself to make that shot and the stakeholders that you cast and have in that place, that's how you're going to get there. That's the defining difference between, the ring and not. Which brings me to, this is a great example, Michael Jordan, how he shows up. We talked a lot about showing up, right? And how you show up and dial in those plays. It's different than, my barber or the plumber down the street showing up. It's a different show up. Now, if you're going to show up the way your future self needs you to be, to have shown up, right? Nobody wants to write the book. They want to have written the book. Nobody wants to be just doing the reps and getting those 10,000 reps in and doing the podcast and making the content and doing all this stuff. Everybody wants to have the show and the grid that's beautiful and have made all these episodes that have all the data on it so that you can scale. But if you do not do the 10,000 reps to get there, if you do not plan it out, if you do not set your tasks every week, what are the 5 tasks I got to get done this week? Now, most people's schedule looks like you hate yourself, right? You do not care or understand energy and how energy moves in and out in any way. That's what most people's schedule looks like. B. And your task list is like 4,000 pages long. There's no way, you don't have the time. So it means you have no time management skill either. Like you have no sense of how long that task is actually going to take. So you have no time management. If you can just dial in those 3 things and compound, this is what we're going to talk about today, systems, compound your energy. Like just talk about what is in a calendar. If you were just a calendar based on, is this going to give me energy? Or is this going to take my energy? And that you balance it in a day based on that. That might change some stuff, right? Like if you're all day, I'm just doing energy suck. And then I cook dinner and then I do this and then I do that. And then the thoughts that you have about cooking dinner are from a place of energy suck. And you're like, well, how come I'm the one that's always having to cook dinner? And God, this takes so much time and I'm doing it for other people. All of those thoughts that then you have about the thing, instead of it being like, oh, God, I'm so happy I'm home cooking the most delicious meal. And I get to eat, like, thank God I worked so hard to get to feed myself this amazing food that I have an oven to be able to cook it in. And I guess you can have some. No, I'm playing. But you have your family, you can share, you can nourish them. I mean, that's a real feeling of giving, and then you're all sitting down together. And if they all sit down together, maybe we can have funny time and talk time. And I mean, that's compounding energy. Let me get more clear about a system, a single system. Okay. Systems are just like a Post-it note on a mirror that says the word mirror and then, or the word mirror, but it says the word mirror in French or German. And every time you look at that note that's on the mirror or the cupboard or the drawer, or you put them all over the house, because when you're looking at the thing, you're trying to learn French. And you're trying to learn it. You're trying to learn German. So you're going to try to learn it. So you start learning the word and every time you look at it, right? That's a system you've put in place to do the thing that you want to do. Now, if you're an overachiever or you're a perfectionist and crazy, we do this all the time. We're like, I'm going to learn 13 languages all at the same time. And I'm going to put 42 words all over the house. And so now your entire household looks like a Post-it, beautiful mind situation. And your husband and your children are like, Mom, this is some psychopathic stuff here. Okay. They're trying to open cupboards and it's just like Post-it notes all over them. Now that's okay, right? But is that really actually going to work? Or is that you're making it more than 5 tasks? You're making it more. You're probably making it more. And then you're probably not going to do it. So the system has to be simple. The system has to be based on the game. Systems can lubricate the machine on Wednesday when you're the one building, if the environment is set up properly. That can be its own system. Just setting up one system that's different today changing your lighting, changing your camera, changing the location, changing the sound, changing your outfit, changing how you feel, changing who you're around, changing who says yes to you and you allow to have that power. I mean, one of the things we talked about a little bit is, are you the lead character in your story? And if you're not, who is? And if you're not, what character are you? And who is directing your show? Because it's a show, whether you think so or not. If you have anybody in your life, if you're not a hermit, and even hermits can give animation to inanimate objects and can give souls, and then they start have a character of their own. I mean, like, things can get crazy. Like Wilson, right, in Castaway. I'm just saying, we give and cast roles to others when we need them. So it's important not to fully change your entire family's entire system without asking them, of course. Otherwise, they will push back. It's important not to change your entire system based on, like, in order to do this, I have all these conditions that must be met. Conditions and complaints are just ways that your brain has not been given the ability to adapt. Right? Every time we complain and somebody comes and fixes something because they love us, they don't want us to be upset. And if we had great parents, or if we had loving parents that were potentially maybe pleasers, they fixed everything for us. And so now as adults, we look at anything and it's like, why is this like this? And don't they know? And they should know. Like, that's so weird that that's even like that. Like, and we just get so in our head and control trippy about all these different things, all these different complaints. We run everybody else's business better than they run theirs, right? Hands down, for sure. And there's just all these conditions that we put on the world around us and the people around us and the environment around us in order for us to be happy. And complaining is just me stopping my brain's ability to adapt to reality. It's just reality. It's life. It's absolutely life around me. Dishes need to be done. Dishes need to be done. I don't care who did them, who didn't do them. They just need to be done. It's not actually good or bad. The hot water is nice and warm. It's morning, and I actually love making things clean and shiny, and the soap kind of feels fun and sudsy like when I was a kid. Like, there's so many levels that I can make any task, anything enjoyable. Your brain is really good about finding patterns that prove thoughts, prove the stories we tell ourselves. So it's really important. I'm just not that type of person. I'm just not that type of person. That's a trip. Right? I just have never told myself certain stories that allow me to believe, and my nervous system to believe, that I have the ability to do that. That's all that is. It's all that is. So one system today, change a couple things. Change your environment. Change the way that your body as water, like, spreads out to fill the container. We're not getting mad that the water takes the shape of the container and then it takes a different shape of a different container. We can't get mad we're not getting mad at the water for being different. I expected you to be different. We do that. We need to do that, right? We need to change our environment, change our shape. So this brings me to a really important thing about systems, but it's also about, like, how do you embody change? How does your brain take it in, but also how do you embody it? And then how do I repeat it? So I want you to think of a spiral. There's one way of working where you have a thought, you're in the center of the spiral, and a thought comes to you, and the thought happens, and then it makes you feel a certain way. And when you start to feel a certain way, like, I'm not good at being on camera. It's like the thought, right? And it's just like, I just feel so embarrassed. And I'm so scared about having people see me on camera, telling my truth or teaching. I mean, God forbid that they think that I know what the fuck I'm doing to be able to teach, right? All of those thoughts that are happening, then see what kind of body that gives you. Okay. And what that shape kind of feels like and means, literally in your body. And then that is slowly working itself towards the outside of that spiral. So the thought is, I'm neutral. The thought is, I don't know how to do this. I can't. And that's this kernel or the little pearl in the center that starts working its way out. And then finally you start walking through life like this, going, oh, I don't know how to do anything, because being seen is the scary part, is the lion that's coming to eat me. Because that's what's happening in our brains. And so to cope, I'm going to be like, I'm just fine. I'm fine. Nobody talk to me. Nobody look at me. I'm just going to be over here, because the fear is the being seen, being witnessed part in your authentic. Like I want to be like, I want it to look like AI. I want it to be like, damn, she's so fine. Or that girl, and like, oh, I'm going to listen to her. And everybody's like, ugh. But in reality, I know a little and I want to share it. But I'm not somebody who thinks that they know everything and that came from them. I had a lot of good teachers, and I spent a lot of money on a lot of good teachers, and I'm still spending money on a lot of good teachers. I'm leaking thousands of dollars every month on purpose to learn and continue to learn. And if you were somebody near me, you would be like, what are you doing? That's not good business sense. That's not good practice. But I'm investing in myself, because I know that after picture, that progress from after to that first episode is going to be like, damn, like a flip book. You're all, oh, and you just watch the person shrink, or you just watch that professionalism go from episode 1 to episode 100. So I can't wait to see you July 1st, 2027. Oh my God. That's going to be exciting. But I had to change the system I had in place. I thought I was going to be doing 40-minute episodes. I thought everybody was going to be like, oh my God, she's just going to be like this amazing, hilarious teacher. And we're going to all just be like, oh yeah. And I watched it back and I was like, girl, that's okay. That's good. That's what I learned. And by learning that, I now know these episodes need to be 10 minutes long, 10 to 15 minutes long max. One thing, not 100, one thing. It was fine. Episode 1 gave you the understanding of what we're going to do Monday through Friday. Tuesdays, systems, one system in place, change it up. Try changing your environment. Okay. Don't forget that if your task list was 100 things long, just changing it to the 5 tasks for the week could be the system you change. Lubricates the machine. Okay. Tomorrow's build day. The build is much easier if the systems have been put in place to lift you up and to make it easier. Once we talk about the build, we're going to be talking about compounding your energy. But right from that calendar, you need to think about compounding your energy in a way of, is it taking energy from me, sucking it out of me, or is this a fuel? Am I charging? It can be people too. Don't forget, relationships are containers. They're just stories we tell ourselves about another person. That is literally all a relationship is stories we tell ourselves about another person, and then stories we tell ourselves about those stories. So we have a thought, then we have a thought that's stupid that I think that about him. Check yourself. Where are you? Which thought process are you in? Just change just that. Just change just that. Just the environment, or just make it a game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the shot? What is the assist or pass that got you the ball to make the shot? What is the rebound? That's important. I know that's kind of goes over here, but if that big thing doesn't pan out, how do you rebound? And how quick do you rebound? And how fast are you up and tallest up? How high do you jump to rebound? Right? But all those things are conditioning the tasks that are there. You're positioning yourself, your shot, assist, or pass, position, right? You're getting into the play, you're under the basket, you're getting over to 3, you're guarding against another person, and dribbling, passing, shooting, guarding, and positioning, and rebounding. I know that's 6, but like passing and assisting the same thing, and guarding and positioning is the same thing. Oh, okay. But here's what I mean by that. Like they're not really the same. Yes. But the point is 5 simple things, and then you can flip what are the 2 sides of the same coin. I'm getting into position either to guard against them making the basket, or I'm getting into position to me get open. Are you researching your competitors in order to know what they're doing in order to see your niche? Or are you just getting open and getting into a place where you are doing one of a kind and getting open in a market where the ball can then go to you? It's all about timing, right? So just those systems, those are 2 systems. Pick one. One of them applies to that Monday and about the idea of how you plan your week and process your week. And one of them applies to just my experience and shooting from the cuff of how different it feels to be able to talk to you like this today instead of how it was the other evening. But my goal was absolutely accomplished. And so my consecration of that mark of evolution has got to happen. If I compound my energy with joyful things, one more story. This is good. I wanted to talk about this. If I compound my energy with joyful things, how much easier can it be made? I work at a hotel, and these people came in April, right? Of course, because I'm about to tell you a story about tax season. So these people came in. This hotel is at a really nice little beautiful, beautiful hometown, beach town. And these people came in during tax season before April 15th. It's probably like late March, right? And they came with, all of their stuff, all of their like most cozy favorite things, wine. They had this huge charcuterie basket thing that they bought. It was like a vacation, like this romantic, loving, like this couple was super cute in their 60s. She was a project manager. That's the key, right? She told me that they do this every year. They take their big vacation once a year, and they bring all of their taxes and all of their shit that they need to do their taxes to do. And they just have the most amazing, beautiful, happiest, most romantic, luxurious vacation. And they set their intentions for the next year based on auditing their system and doing their taxes. I mean, mind fucking blown, right? I was all, what are you saying? You're saying that you vacay during like hell on earth week? And she's like, yeah, it's amazing. It's like, we look forward to taxes every year. We look forward to taxes and auditing our system of financial, centeredness, financial success, and strategize for the next year together in our marriage and take our big, seasonal or annual vacation, and we lock it into being around tax season on purpose, and we bring everything that makes us happy and in love and romantic, and we go to our favorite place that's away from the city and away from everything, and it has the beach if we just get overwhelmed, and we create the environment and the setup to just be nothing but absolutely in love while we're talking about finances and strategizing for tax season for the next year, and then doing our taxes. And then the end of that, the big mark of evolution, is that the taxes are sent and done. And the faster they get it done in the beginning of their stay, the better that the rest of their stay is just literally just to celebrate and consecrate that they did that. I mean, can you fucking imagine? Now, that is what I would say was a beautiful example of compounding your energy and compounding your tasks of what you got to do with things that are just really wonderful and you love and that make you real happy. Like, it's a perfect example. And that's like, I mean, I'm trying to think of all the things that I are like, that is the worst thing I could possibly think of doing, and think of how to build a vacation around it, and that we're spending so much money, or we're working so hard to get enough money to have a vacation. And that's what, in my mind, I'm like, oh, that would blow a vacation but it doesn't. Can you imagine? It doesn't. And it also makes the thing that is, I'm just like, so you don't have to do that. You don't have to build the entire thing in one day. Mondays, download your tasks, get them down to 5. There are only ever 5. The game is simple. The beauty of and the art of how you play and how you show up to do that simple thing and how you do those 10,000 reps is the difference between Michael Jordan and my plumber Bob. I mean, Bob might be the Michael Jordan of plumbing, so I don't want to actually really say that. You know what I mean? So, but as far as jumping to that basket, if that were Bob's goal, he'd have to show up differently. That's all I'm going to say. Now, change your environment, change your location, change your stakeholders if you have to, change your setup. You can change your system. Compound it with something that's really basic and easy and wonderful and happy. Compound something hard. Compound when you write your task list with, God, could you imagine like talking to Alexa as you're getting a massage? Be like, next week, Alexa, write this down. I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to think of the level of vacationing during taxes with like something I don't want to do tonight. Record episode 3. All right, I'm excited. Episode 3 is the build. Wednesdays are about building. Mondays are about tasks, planning, calendaring for energy. Suck fuel. Balance that calendar out based on just energy, and you will have changed a major system. Your calendar is a system. Your calendar is a container. Change the story. Change how you do it. Okay? Wednesday is the build. Wednesday is reps. Get those reps in. I can't wait. Right after this, I'm going to go do my push-pull and my eccentric chin-ups, which are really hard, but I'm getting better. All right, we're going to build. Get built for it.